Hypnosis is way easier than you think. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to do hypnosis. And just for context, this is not going to be a long video. This is not going to be long at all because hypnosis is not some big fancy thing that a lot of people make it out to be. It's not some big complex thing. It's not some weird voodoo. It's actually very simple, very basic, yet a very powerful way to work with your own mind, or again, if you're a hypnotherapist, with somebody else's mind, or more importantly, to help them work with their own mind. So it's incredibly powerful, yet incredibly simple. And it's also, contrary to a lot of popular belief, it's incredibly safe because the hypnotic state or the trance state, or whatever it is you want to call it, is a completely natural state. Now, in order to get a definition of hypnosis, I looked up a lot of different writings and a lot of different research, but the one that I like to use is the definition given by Dr. David Spiegel of Stanford University. And his definition of hypnosis is singular focus of the mind with reduced peripheral awareness. And what that basically means is you're focusing on one thing, whether it's something you're visualizing, whether it's a sensation in the body, whether it's the hypnotist's voice. You're focusing on one singular thing, and your awareness around you fades away. You're so focused on the one thing that everything else kind of disappears for a bit. Now, it doesn't mean you go into some weird altered state, and it doesn't mean that you can't be aware of what's going on around you. It just means that you choose to reduce that awareness, to bring your focus to a single thing, because believe it or not, this is something we rarely do. You rarely find yourself focused on just one thing. Like, as I'm creating this video now, as I'm recording this, I'm also aware of things that are in the room around me. I'm aware of sounds that are coming from outside the window. When we're in hypnosis, we kind of close down those awarenesses and have a total singular focus. And that's why it's so powerful. You often hear people talk about being in the zone. You know, just that I was in the zone, I was just on the one thing. Sports people often talk about being in the zone, or an academic who's working on a new theory or proving something or whatever it is, often talks about, I just went in the zone and I focused for a long time, nothing else mattered. Well, the amazing thing is you don't have to be a super sports person or a top level academic to find that zone, because that zone is available to all of us. And so I'm going to talk about how to do hypnosis, both how to guide somebody else into hypnosis and how to guide yourself into hypnosis, because none of this is complicated. Before I forget, by the way, I'm Glenn Mitchell of the Freedom Formula Hypnotherapy Academy. So yeah, we teach hypnotherapists. We teach and qualify hypnotherapists. When you train with us, you become a qualified hypnotherapist. You are the course, your qualification is accredited by the IPHM, that's the International Practitioners of Holistic Medicine. And you can help other people with hypnotherapy once you've trained with us. The other really cool part about the way we do it is, yeah, we train how to be an excellent hypnotist, but more importantly, we train how to be an amazing therapist, because that's the more important part. Whenever you're being a hypnotherapist, hypnosis is the vehicle, the method, but therapy is what we're offering, which means being an amazing listener, helping a person to feel safe, helping them to feel seen, heard, understood. That's the real magic of therapy. And so when you train with us at the Freedom Formula Hypnotherapy Academy, that's what you will learn. As an added bonus as well, we also teach our students how to run a hypnotherapy business. And so it's a case of, you don't just learn how to do the therapy and then it's off into the wild to go and figure out the other side of things. We will also teach you how to start your business. Like, If you're based in the UK, we'll tell you exactly what to do to start your business, who to register with, where to register, how to get your account started, all that sort of stuff. But most importantly, we'll teach you how to market your services so that you can reach as many people as possible, and well, so that you can run a successful, lucrative business that helps you to help other people. So if you're the sort of person that wants to help other people, and perhaps you're feeling unfulfilled in your current career or anything, or you just fancy a change, or you want to pick up a really cool side business or side hustle, then hypnotherapy is amazing for this. Another thing is, in the modern day, you can run it just like this. You can do it over Zoom or any other video call method. And so all you need is a laptop or a phone to get a business started with hypnotherapy. It's bloody amazing nowadays. And a lot of people say, well, isn't hypnotherapy something you have to do in person? But it absolutely isn't. There's no reason why a hypnotherapist ever has to touch a client. I know that there's a lot of like induction techniques that include picking up the wrist and stuff, but none of those are needed. None of those are required. They look cool for demonstrations, but this all works through the power of the voice. So you can see people in person or you can see people online. And that's the beauty of it as well, because we train online. You can work with us from anywhere in the UK. So we will give you an accredited qualification. We'll teach you how to run a business, and we'll continue to support you to get your business started. Anyway, enough of the pitch, as it were, and back to the main business at hand. How does one do hypnosis with another? So this is how I do my most basic hypnotic inductions. And this is also how I teach the most basic hypnotic inductions to other people. So when you're working with another person, it's important to make sure that other person is comfortable and in a safe space. Now, if you're in the same room with them, you can guarantee that yourself. You can make sure that's the case. If you are doing it online with a person, it's important just to communicate that to them. Make sure you're in a place where you won't be disturbed, where you're comfortable and safe to close your eyes for a little bit. And certainly make sure you're not driving or operating machinery. That's a major no-no. This is an eyes closed, focused process. And so one of the first inductions I like to teach is what's called a pacing and leading induction. And pacing is basically when you describe to a person things that they're already experiencing. So for example, I might say to them, allow yourself to become aware of the chair beneath you. Notice the touch points between the chair and your body. Notice how it supports you through your buttocks, through your back, through the bottom of your thighs. Just allow yourself to be aware of that. Notice the connection between your feet and the ground. And then become aware of your breathing. Notice the rise and fall in your chest and abdomen as you breathe in and you breathe out. Just allow yourself to become aware of those sensations. So that's the pacing part of the induction. Obviously, it all just flows as one, by the way. And when I've sort of done showing this to you, I'm going to give a demonstration. And so if you watch this and you watch it through, towards the end of the video, I'm going to give a demonstration, and that's where you can literally sit back or lay back somewhere comfortable, close your eyes, listen to my words, and feel yourself experience what hypnosis feels like. Like I say, it's not a weird altered state or anything else. It's just a state of pure focus. It's very normal to get very relaxed during it, but that's not a necessary part of it. Anyway, so that's the pacing. Then we move on to the leading. So I'm talking about the breathing. Notice the rise and fall in your chest and abdomen as you breathe in and you breathe out. I then move on to, now, allow yourself to imagine that when you breathe in, you're breathing in a nice, calm, relaxed energy. And when you breathe out, you're breathing out any stress or tension that your body's been holding on to. And that'll give them a few suggestions for that. So I'll say, as you breathe out, feel your shoulders soften. Feel your eyelids getting heavier. Feel your whole body becoming more relaxed. I might even take them through a mini progressive muscle relaxation here, When I just say something like allow your scalp to become relaxed, allow your muscles around your eyes to switch off, allow your jaw to become unclenched, loose, relaxed. Let it work its way down through the chest and the core, down the legs all the way to the tips of the toes. Let that comfortable relaxation work from the arms all the way down to the tips of the fingers. And by this point, the client is completely focused on what I'm saying. And now, because I've moved on to a bit of relaxation with it, the relaxation that they are creating in their body. And so I've got focus at this point. I've got the full focus. And so we can say, I've more than likely got hypnosis. Now, there are some signs and cues of hypnosis, which you learn when you train. And it's one of those things that you learn to pick them up when you play and practice with this as well. And so some of them are just, you see the facial muscles kind of smoothing out as the face relaxes. Sometimes you see a little bit of twitching in the eyelids. Sometimes you'll see quite a lot of swallowing. And there's quite a lot of other ones too, but we'll stay with those ones for now. Just a few of the really simple ones that happen for a lot of people. So it's something that you can look out for as you do this. But also, there's not always obvious signs. And so it's not a case of, I need to make sure I can see whatever signs. Sometimes they're just not there. I always say, unless there's an obvious sign to the contrary, proceed as if it's going really, really well, because it usually is. And when we practice this stuff, our imagination can go a little bit crazy and we imagine it's going terribly. Oh, another one, actually, an important one is sometimes there's a bit of twitching as a person goes into hypnosis. And that's called hypnic jerks. A lot of people experience them when they're falling asleep as well. And a lot of people think that's a sign that the client's uncomfortable or they're restless. But actually, it's usually, again, another good sign that a person's going into hypnosis. So don't overthink it, just have a play. The other part is, even if you don't achieve hypnosis, whatever that really means, you'll probably find that by talking a person through this, you will help them to release stress and just feel a little more relaxed, comfortable within themselves. And so even if you don't achieve a hypnotic session, you'll probably get a good relaxation session out of this. So it's still pretty cool. So that's our hypnotic induction, the pacing and the leading. Now from there, we might go into a little bit of what's called a hypnotic deepener. And the way that a deepener works is, well, we guide them deeper into hypnosis. And what that basically means is just becoming even more focused and letting the outside world go even more. And one of the cool things about a deepener is we often use guided imagery. And that's a really good way to get the imagination involved. Which again, when you go into your imagination, you go away from the outside world. So the most basic of all the deepeners is asking a client to imagine they're standing at the top of a staircase of 10 steps. And I will say to them, imagine there's lovely thick banisters either side to keep you sure-footed. And that's just a suggestion for safety. So they feel safe and confident walking down that staircase. And then I say to them, in a moment, I'm going to count from 10 down to 1. With each number that I say, you can take a step down that staircase. With each step that I take, you can go deeper and deeper into hypnosis, deeper and deeper into this comfortable, relaxed, focused state. And then I just count down the steps. 10, becoming deeper relaxed. 9, letting go of the outside world. 8, becoming even more comfortable. 7, body releasing all of its tension. 6, the outside world fades away. 5, deeper and deeper still. 4, 3, 2, almost there, and 1. Now as you step off that last step, you step into a wonderful state of hypnosis where you are so comfortable, confident, and focused. And by the way, if you're watching all of the hand movements I'm doing, I'll just let you know I just talk with my hands a lot. This is not part of the hypnosis in any way. Like when I say to a person, relax your scalp, I quite often move my hands to my scalp. Same with the jawline and stuff. None of that's got any real meaning to it. The client's eyes are generally closed at this point. This is just how I talk. I've always been very expressive with my hands. And I need to put that out there, because a lot of people, when I'm teaching them this, like, okay, what's that you're doing with your hands? What am I supposed to be doing? It's like nothing. I just talk a lot with my hands. And it's something that I've tried to not do, actually. And I end up like this. I talk like a robot because I don't know, I'm a fidgety guy. I like my hands doing something all the time. So that's just me, talking hands guy. So we've done our deepener. Now what we want to do is give what's called a post-hypnotic suggestion. Now, when you're doing hypnotherapy with a client, it's a case that you very often give way more than one post-hypnotic suggestion in a session. In fact, they'll quite often be progressive and they will work together. More importantly, the suggestions that you give to a client in hypnotherapy will usually come from the client. We use techniques of questioning that help a person to explore how they feel without feeling put on the spot or without feeling interrogated. It's called clean language. You can go and look that up. There's loads of good resources out there on clean language. And it's a wonderful way to get what's really going on with the client and to help them to understand, to help you to understand. And then we use a process called don't want, do want, because when you ask the client about the problem, they'll tell you all about what's going on, and that's everything they don't want. And so if we can use a few of the right questions to get them to flip it on its head to what they do want, that forms the basis for our post-hypnotic suggestions. And it's called post-hypnotic suggestions because it's suggestions for them to continue to take on board post the hypnosis session. So post-hypnotic suggestions, nice and simple. So we've got them down the steps, got them into hypnosis. From there, now, just for context, a hypnotherapy session will usually be quite a lot longer, probably with a lot more guided imagery, depending on what we're doing. This is specifically a suggestion-based session. We can also use what's called content-free hypnosis. We can use analytical hypnosis. We can use regression-based hypnosis. There are lots of different types of hypnosis. We're covering the very basics right now of suggestion-based hypnosis. And so for the purpose of a demonstration, like I'm going to do in a few minutes, I might say something like, in a moment when I count you back out of hypnosis, you're going to allow yourself to feel amazing, whatever that means to you. Perhaps you'll feel less stressed, excited about something, more comfortable and confident within yourself. Allow yourself to feel whatever you want to feel right now. And I like that it's an ambiguous suggestion to say, you can choose how you feel. But I give them a few ideas just so that they don't think, oh gosh, I don't know. And so they can latch on to one of those ideas if nothing comes to them immediately. And then I'll do some sort of count out from hypnosis. Now, a lot of people say, if you take them down a staircase of 10 steps, you need to take them back up 10 steps. It's not true. It's absolutely not true. I usually count people down a staircase 10 steps, back up a staircase of 5. And I've been doing this for years, and I've never had a person fail to come out of hypnosis, and I've never had a person have any difficulty with the numbers of steps. And so what I will usually say at this point is, you're now at the foot of a staircase of 5 steps, and this is the staircase back to full conscious awareness. So I'm going to count from 1 to 5. With each number that I say, you'll come closer and closer to full conscious awareness. And with each step that you take, you're going to make that feeling that you've just created within yourself bigger, bolder, brighter, better. 1, just allow yourself to become aware of the room around you. 2, becoming aware of the chair or sofa beneath you. 3, making that feeling bigger, bolder, brighter, better. 4, you might feel the need for a stretch or just wiggle the fingers or the toes. And when you're ready to feel amazing, open your eyes. 5. Now, I like to use a click of the fingers on the release. Again, you absolutely do not have to do that. There's nothing mandatory about it. A click of the fingers is like an anchor to the suggestion. And so a lot of hypnotists, and you see this a lot with street hypnotists, they use clicks of the fingers with each suggestion that they give, which essentially is telling the client, this is a suggestion to take on board. So it's an additional cue and anchor to the suggestion. I like to use it at the wake up, and I do sometimes use it in my sessions at the suggestions as well. I use it in the wake up just because I like it, because I like to give an additional cue of wake up now, something snappy, something that just says, boom, here we are. Again, there's nothing mandatory about that. It's just something that I've enjoyed doing over the years. And a lot of people, when they first learn this, they don't like using clicks of the fingers and stuff. So I'm just letting you know that's fine. You do not have to. So in a moment, I'm just going to talk you guys through pretty much that exact session that I just broke down. But that was the basics of hypnotic induction, hypnotic deepener, post-hypnotic suggestion, and then hypnotic emergence. And that's just bringing a person back out of hypnosis. And so, as you can see, there's nothing fancy, nothing complicated. You don't have to be a smart person to do this stuff. Now, the smarts, the intelligence comes in with the actual emotional intelligence when it comes to being a hypnotherapist, because being able to work with other human beings, having empathy, and being able to create that psychological safety from the get-go, that's the most important aspects of being a therapist. It's like I always say, being a hypnotherapist is like being any other sort of therapist. You need those same soft skills. The hypnotherapy is a different way of doing it. And I believe for a lot of people, a better way. I say for a lot of people because nothing's right for everyone. But a lot of the clients that have come to me and come to a lot of my colleagues and a lot of my graduates have tried a lot of other types of therapies, quite often over a long period. And hypnotherapy's worked for them really quickly. And so it tends to be quite a quick therapeutic intervention, often lasting only 1 to 4 sessions, even for lifelong issues. Now, it doesn't mean it can only last that long. I've worked with clients for months, and I've worked with clients for one session. And it really depends on the situations that you're working with, what the client's looking to achieve, and ultimately what the outcomes that are coming are. And so there's a lot to it. Anyway, all of those processes I just described can also be used in self-hypnosis. Now, self-hypnosis is, again, just the same thing. Allowing yourself to focus internally and letting go of the outside world. So basically, anytime when you close your eyes and you start to imagine something, you're doing a form of self-hypnosis. Now, a good way to do a self-hypnosis is focus on your breathing for a little bit, similarly to what you do with a lot of meditations. And then allow yourself to imagine something that you want to imagine. So, for example, if you want to plan out a self-hypnosis session, ask yourself, what do I want to achieve from a self-hypnosis suggestion? Try again. What do I want to achieve from a self-hypnosis session? Tongue twister for me, I don't know why. And then think, right, what sort of imagination can I use with that? So one that I like to use is I pick the outcome that I want. Maybe I want to feel more relaxed, or maybe I want to feel more confident in a certain situation. Let's go with confident in a certain situation, because that's one that I could talk you through a simple way to do it. So I might close my eyes, focus on my breathing just for a few breaths, noticing the sensations. And then I'll start to imagine that I'm on a lovely beach. And I will think of 5 things that I can see on that beach, 4 things I can hear on that beach, 3 things I can touch on that beach, 2 things I can smell on that beach, and maybe even 1 thing I can taste. So I might have to take myself to the beach burger van. But what I'm doing there is I'm bringing all my senses into play to make it as real an experience as possible. Once I've got myself into a really focused, comfortable state, imagining my lovely beach, I will then imagine the scenario that I want to be more confident in. And I imagine just bossing that scenario. I imagine it going really, really well. And then I imagine being at the end of the scenario and being elated. So I don't know, maybe it's a meeting, I've got a chair at work or something. I don't have a job. I work for my own business. But, it's a meeting, I've got a chair at work, or an uncomfortable conversation because I've got to go and return my chinos to the shop or something. I'll just imagine it going really, really well and me feeling really elated at the end. And then I imagine myself back on my beach, relaxing a bit. I return to my breathing, and I use that as the conduit to bring myself back to full awareness of the world around me, pop my eyes open, I've just had a good self-hypnosis session. Self-hypnosis is way less complicated than people think it's going to be. It's just a case of it takes practice because the mind wanders. It really wanders, and everybody's the same. A lot of people say, I can't do that stuff because my mind wanders. Be gentle with yourself. Give it gentle practice. You'll get good at it after a little while, and then you'll get very good at it. And then it's like a superpower or like a mind upgrade or something. It's bloody amazing. So I'm now going to take you through the same simple, singular suggestion hypnosis session that I've just taught. So if you are driving or operating machinery, I suggest that you stop listening to this now and come back to it. It'll be available. If you're on Facebook, it will remain available on my Facebook profile. If you're on YouTube, you just come back to this YouTube video. But don't listen to this whilst driving or operating machinery. If you are in a position to sit back or lay back and relax, do that. Sit back or lay back in a place where you can comfortably relax and ignore the outside world. Now, when you're ready to do so, close your eyes down. Then just allow yourself to become aware of your breathing. Notice the rise and fall in your chest and abdomen as you breathe in and you breathe out. That's it. Just allow yourself to notice the sensations that come with each breath. You might even notice the feeling of the air as it goes down the back of the throat. Noticing that when you breathe out, the air is slightly warmer than when breathed in, warmed up by the body heat. Stay with that focus of the breath just for a moment, just to notice any sensations that you can notice. That's it. Now, with each in-breath that you take, imagine that you're breathing in a wonderful, relaxed but focused energy. That's it. Just a good energy to ease your transition into the hypnosis. And when you breathe out, you're breathing out any stress or tension that you may have been holding on to. So breathing in a good, wonderful, relaxed energy. Breathing out any stress or tension the body may have been holding, knowingly or unknowingly. That's it. Feel the softening in the shoulders. Feel your scalp releasing any tension. Feel it working its way down the forehead, the temples. Feel the eyelids becoming increasingly heavy as little muscles at the sides of the eyes just switch off. Feel that comfortable relaxation working its way down your jawline, allowing the teeth to be unclenched and slightly parted. Allow every muscle, cell, and fiber in the face to become limp, loose, comfortable, and deeply relaxed. And then let it work its way down the back of the neck, across the shoulders once again. And allow that comfortable, relaxed feeling to work its way down the arms, into the hands, right down at the tips of the fingers. Let it work its way down through the chest and the core, down past the hips, down through the legs, past the knees, into the lower legs, all the way down into the feet, right into the tips of the toes. That's it. And you can start to notice a comfortable sensation of sinking back into the chair, bed, or sofa that you're currently on. And it almost feels like a big soft beanbag or a big soft ball of cotton wool. As you just gently sink back into it, feeling more and more comfortable, more and more relaxed, more and more safe. Now, allow your wonderful, amazing, magical imagination to come into play. And allow yourself to imagine that you're standing at the top of a staircase of 10 steps. And it's a lovely staircase. Perhaps it's a magnificent spiral staircase. Perhaps it's just got a gorgeous, soft, plush carpet. Perhaps there's lovely decor. One thing you do notice is either side lovely thick banisters to keep you sure-footed. So I'm going to count from 10 down to 1. With each number that I say, you're going to take a step down that staircase. With each step that you take, you can go deeper into this wonderful, focused, comfortable, hypnotic state. 10, drifting deeper now. 9, becoming deeper relaxed. 8, deeper and deeper still. 7, letting the outside world fade away. 6, halfway there now. 5, drifting deeper. 4, any last remnants of tension literally evaporate away from you now. 4, the outside world completely faded away. 3, almost there. 2, and 1, stepping off that last step into the most comfortable, wonderful state of hypnosis. Feeling so comfortable, so relaxed, and so safe. Stepping into a beautiful place. Perhaps it's a beautiful garden, or a forest, or a beach. But allow yourself to take a moment now to just notice everything around you. Look all around, see what you can see. That's it. Listen for whatever you can hear. Reach out and touch the things that you can touch. Allow yourself to notice any scents or smells associated with this space. And in this wonderful, magical, beautiful place, allow yourself now to start to feel whatever feeling you would like to feel right now. Perhaps it's a feeling of bulletproof confidence. Perhaps it's just calm and relaxed. Perhaps it's excitement for something that's coming up. Whatever you choose to feel right now, literally invite that feeling into your body and into your mind. And allow that feeling to just be with you. Make it bigger, bolder, brighter, better. Take a step forward now, and you're now standing at the bottom of a staircase of 5 steps. And this is the staircase back to full conscious awareness. So I'm going to count from 1 to 5. With each number that I say, take a step up that staircase back to full conscious awareness. But with each step that you take, make that good feeling that you're creating for yourself bigger, bolder, brighter, better. 1, letting the blood flow around the body, waking up those relaxed muscles. 2, allowing that feeling to grow to magnificent proportions. 3, feeling fantastic now. 4, you might feel the need for a stretch, have to wiggle the fingers as you get ready to return to full wakefulness. And when you're ready to feel amazing, feel fantastic, open your eyes. 5. So just let yourself take a moment to reorientate to the room around you. That was literally just 7 or 8 minutes. Very brief, but very, very comfortable, very powerful. Go back and listen to it a few times and just notice how your mind does it slightly differently each time. It's an amazing thing. It really is. So if this has piqued your interest and you think I'd like to know more about hypnosis and hypnotherapy, then let's have a chat about training in hypnotherapy with Free Informed Hypnotherapy Academy. We've got an amazing deal on actually before the year ends, and that is you can do our online self-paced training at half price, and half price means it is less than £500. I think it comes out at £497.50 or something, because the full price is £995. You've also got the option to use Klarna to pay for it over 3 installments. And so it comes out at like $167 a month over 3 months. And that's for lifetime access to the course. But also on top of just accessing the online course, you also have access to 2 weekly Zoom sessions with myself or Roz, who's our other amazing teacher in the Free Informed Hypnotherapy Academy, or quite often both of us, where we're there to basically supervise the practice sessions, do demonstrations of anything you ask us to demo. And so you've got the option to have live training twice a week on top of the self-paced course. And so I genuinely don't think you could possibly find a better deal on hypnotherapy training, and certainly not on training of this quality. Again, it's accredited by the IPHM, and our graduates go on to be amazing hypnotherapists because we have tried to make it as comprehensive a course as possible. And so there's 20 amazing modules there. You've got lifetime access to them. You've got lifetime access to our Facebook group, which is very supportive, and we've got a lot of supervision goes on in there. And you've also got those live Zoom twice weekly sessions. You can come to 2 if you like, every week, where you can practice with fellow students with supervision from the tutors, and you can also ask us any questions or to demo any techniques. All the freedom of self-paced training with all the advantages of classroom training, all done from the comfort of your own home. You could be like me. I'm wearing pajama bottoms right now. Yeah, I've got my branded top on, but I've also got my jammies on because that's how I get to roll. That's why I love this so much. And so you can do the same. Comfort of your own home. Come and train in hypnotherapy at your own pace. Choose whether or not you come to any of those live sessions. You can come regularly, or you can drop in, or not at all. It's entirely up to you. But until 11:59 on the 31st of December this year, that training is only $497.50, which could even be broke down further to $167 roughly per month. So yeah, over 3 months. You're not going to get a better bargain on hypnotherapy training. And I'll promise you this, you will not find anywhere more supportive. You'll be amazed at the amount of support that Roz and I love to give our students. So come and sign up. Also, if you're like, oh, I'm not really sure, I want to know a little bit more or whatever, we have also got a free introduction to hypnotherapy course on our online platform as well. So ask me about that. I'll put you on the platform. You can have a look, have a play. It's good fun stuff. Right. That's everything from me for now. Thank you very much for joining me, and I hope you've enjoyed this. Thank you. Bye-bye.